Hi, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to talk about something that affects a lot of people and is affecting more and more people every day, and that is adult onset acne. I got through most of my teenage years like pretty much acne free. I didn't have like any big flare-ups or any big issues. I didn't have like a lot of scarring. So I just pretty much thought that like that was going to fade away. Once I got into college, I thought my skin would just get better and better with time. That didn't happen, however. So in college, I would say like maybe my sophomore or junior year, I started to get really bad acne. Pretty much people just like blamed it on stress, you know, being in college, studying, like all of this. So like I thought, okay, that is plausible. Like, but even on like breaks, spring break, like summers in college when I literally had no stress in the world, like I would still have acne. It wouldn't go away whether I was stressed or not. So I started to like rule that out. And I proceeded to try like literally every over-the-counter medication that there was. Like if it was out on the market when I was in college, like I tried it. Like some things would work for a few weeks, like nothing worked as long as like a month, like maybe a couple weeks max, and then the product would stop working, the acne would come back, anything that had cleared up. Some things made me really red, itchy, like it was just really bad. So as I sort of left the college scene and got a real job, became an adult, I still had acne. And one of the things that I decided that I wanted to focus on that was a little bit separate from my acne was I wanted to begin to live a just like healthier lifestyle, to take care of my body, and just like be really careful about what I put in it. I became really passionate through classes in college about like health and nutrition. So as I started to like sort of go down that journey, like when I would sort of cut out food groups, and so things like I never long-term wanted to be without meat, but I'd try like 6 weeks with like no meat, or I do just like things that were healthy. Like I wasn't like ever not eating or anything, but I would notice that sometimes when I was on a like health kick that my skin would clear up for sort of longer periods of time, but it still always, the acne like crept its way like back into my life. So I'm still like trying to figure out, like food has some impact, but like it wasn't like a solid connection for me, because like I would still have the acne like after a while. It would clear up and then I'd get it back. Since I was a little girl, like I've always like loved to dress up and feel beautiful and do my hair and play with makeup. I also like played sports and I was on the softball team and the track team, and I also loved the days that I wore no makeup. I had so much acne for so long at this point that my face was just scarred up. I always had these painful pimples, and it came to the point where I felt like I needed to wear makeup, which in turn made me resent it. Like I felt like I needed it to cover up my skin. Like sort of the acne began to creep into little parts of my life that I really enjoyed. Like I didn't want to go to the beach with my friends because I was like, no, I can't wear makeup at the beach, and like I don't want to go there. So the acne like really began to affect just like every little part of my life. So the type of acne that I suffered from is what I would categorize as cystic acne. So they aren't like the little pimples that I guess like form a head. Although I did have some of those, I would get these like huge pimples that were like deep under the skin. They were almost like little boils or little cysts, and they'd be like all around my chin, on my forehead. I'd have as many as like 10 at a time, and they were so painful. We decided this November on kind of a whim that we were gonna try to be gluten-free, and for about 2 weeks we basically ate fruits, we ate vegetables. After 2 weeks we just felt so good. I had so much energy. I was sleeping well at night. Like things were just like really like making a turnaround, and the biggest thing is that I didn't get any new pimples. So that leads me to the day where I reintroduced gluten after 2 weeks. And I don't remember what I had, but some bread products that like had wheat in it. Within 2 hours, 2 hours, I had a migraine and a pimple. A cystic acne came back after 2 hours of me eating gluten. Like it just like snapped for me at that moment. I was like, gluten is the link for me and my cystic acne. Today is actually the 6-month mark of me being gluten-free, and I would say that I'm like 98% gluten-free. There are some items and some times where I'm like, okay, it's like, is it worth the pimple? And like a lot of times it's not, but there are some times where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna eat this. I know I'm gonna get a pimple, but like, it just feels so good knowing that I finally figured out the link and that I am in control. I can choose if I want the pimple. So in addition to all of the positive benefits that I just mentioned, I also lost about 15 or 16 pounds. I can't say that that's 100% from gluten. I also started a weight training program that I'll definitely talk about in a different video if you would like me to. But it just gave me the boost that I needed. I just felt so good. I had enough energy to work for 12 hours a day and then come home and go to the gym, which I didn't before. I had the energy to cook for myself. I wasn't getting any acne. This 6-month period has been the longest period of time that I've gone in my adult life without acne, and when I do get a pimple, I know exactly the food that caused it. I know when I got it, and I know that like I chose to eat the food that was going to result in acne. Like, I feel so free. If you're gonna try going gluten-free, there's so many resources on the web. There's so much information out there. You can do a simple Wikipedia search and figure out what has gluten in it, what doesn't. It's really, really, can be really inexpensive to eat gluten-free. You don't need to buy all these like gluten-free products that are out there. You can just eat natural foods that don't have gluten in them, but it has been a lifesaver for my skin. Thank you guys so much for listening to my story, for watching this video, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I will definitely try to get back to you and answer any questions that you have. Thanks for watching.